Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I got my hands finally on the APK for the Inhumans X-Men update, and it's heavy on the Inhumans, but there is a splash of X-Men in it, and there's a lot to talk about. There's quite a few systems being changed. There's some new systems being introduced for the story mode, some new rewards, and overall, I think a lot of players are going to be very happy with this update, but everything comes at a price, so there's always a balance. So let's talk about everything that's new. I'm going to give you guys all the information that I can. I'm going to pack as much as possible into this video, and then we'll start doing individual videos about individual characters and things like that. So keep it locked on the channel if you want to not miss all of that. And then, of course, hit up the Twitch if you want to see more of that stuff on the daily, because I'm going through the APK live on stream. And I'm also playing Marvel Avengers. Such a fun game. Anywho, so the first thing you're going to notice is we got Medusa, Black Bolt, and Thane up there, and then we've got Dazzler down here. So first things first, you're going to want to know how to obtain Thane and Dazzler. This is going to be a bit of contentious topic for some players, so let's take a look. Thane is obtainable through the biometric subscription, so you would have to pay $10 to get him, just like you would for characters like Nick Fury, Yelena, Sunbird, Crescent, Luna Snow, all those types of characters that are, you know, slapstick, etc., that you get from the bio subscription. Dazzler, on the other hand, surprise, surprise, is available through the X-Gene subscription, the X-Gene bio subscription. So yeah, that's how you get those two characters. None of the characters that are available in this update for now are free. Now, that being said, we're gonna go over here. Maybe they should sell a bio sub that's half and half. Like 15 days of a bio sub, 15 days of an X-Gene sub. Maybe that would be too nice. But anyways, there's Thane. Oh, they've reorganized this from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. Okay. And then there would be Dazzler. The thing is, the hope that a lot of players have, myself included, is that one of these two characters, either Thane or Dazzler, will be in the future pass for 10 biometrics like they did in the last update with Red She-Hulk. So really hope that one of those two characters is given for free at 1 star. And then a lot of people are also speculating that we could get Dazzler for free, not fully ranked up for free, but at least like a 3 or 4 star version of Dazzler, the way we got for Mr. Sinister when there was the faction war and the House of X update, where basically Mr. Sinister's bios replaced the biometrics for, I believe it was Colossus. Colossus was originally the character in that faction battle reward. So yeah, that's the hope. We don't know though. Both the faction battle and the future pass are not here in the APK, so I have no way of checking. Then the next thing you're gonna want to wonder is about new icons, because that also relates to the future passes. And we do have 3 new icons, and they're very cool. We have the Hydra icon, which will be given as the legendary battle pass or legendary future pass reward. So you pay about $10 US, $50 Canadian. This is unfortunately, or fortunately, this is the very expensive $40 or $50 Mythic Pass reward. It's the God of Thunder, and my gosh, it looks so cool. I think I might have to spend some money on this one, but I think the update itself does deserve some praise for Netmarble, so I think that I will let my wallet speak for itself, or speak for my praise, I guess, whatever. But anyways, I'll show you guys why I think so. And then this one is going to be for the token event. Now, a lot of players always make this error, or make this sort of switch. The token event, the event shop that's going to open right after the update, will not have this icon in it. It will have bios for, you know, maybe Medusa or Black Bolt or something like that, and it'll have some other sort of lesser rewards like boost points or hidden tickets or energy or gear up kits. And then a week or 2 after the update is live, there will be another token event, and that is the token event where you get 700 tokens, and that is the token event that will be branded with the Inhumans or X-Men symbol. You know, it'll have a branded symbol like the hammer or like the X-Gene. You know, it'll be branded. It won't be one of these question mark ones. It'll be the one that's branded, like let's say the Spider-Man token or whatever. And that one will have both the Mega Tier 2 ticket and the Black Bolt icon. So you sort of have to choose which one you want to go with, which is kind of a bummer. So that's how you get the new characters. That is the new icons. Let's talk about the new uniforms. Both of these are crazy reworks for Medusa and Black Bolt. They rework their leaderships, their passives, their skills. It's bonkers. So in the case of Black Bolt, he gets a crazy rework. His Cosmic Awareness passive cooldown comes down 10 seconds, which is still not very good, but it's not very bad. It's a lot better than it was. It used to be 30 seconds. His Silent King passive becomes chain hit damage and skill damage bonus damage, which is awesome. He loses the ignored dodge, but it's okay. And then his Kingly Might passive, his leadership, goes from 30% energy attack, are you ready for this one, to 65% increase all attack to all Inhuman allies. Yeah, he becomes the Mr. Fantastic for the Inhumans, the de facto best lead in the game for every single Inhuman, Thane included. That is dope. A huge buff, and it's also a self-buffing leadership. I'm not going to get too much into the skills, but he's got accumulation, he's got invincibility, he's got a lot going for him, and then of course he's got the tier 3 advancement. As far as the uniform effect, as soon as it loads, we've got decreased damage received. That's basically the only effect. The other ones I've already talked about. And then quickly for the uniform options, we've got Human Torch, Human Torch, Future Foundation, Emma Frost, Phoenix 5, Wolverine, X-Force, Captain America Endgame, and Vision, Uncanny Avengers. Some good, some bad. Medusa, on the other hand, gets an upgrade as well. Her leadership doesn't go up by much. It goes up 3% from 42 to 45, but her passive, her passive. All Inhuman allies get 45% damage increase to supervillains. Yeah. So she becomes the #1 Inhumans Inhumans support character, and she's amazing because you can also use her as a leadership and support character. So very, very strong. Her Inhuman Queen passive hasn't changed, but yeah, she has an awakening skill. Very, very strong upgrade for her. She gets a lot of skill changes, and she doesn't get any effects on her uniform itself like this one had, which was, no, never mind. Didn't have any effects. As far as her uniform options, we've got Crystal Fantastic 4, Spider-Man 2099, Hulk Team Suit, Cyclops Phoenix 5, and then Luna Snow Andromeda. Again, not the best options. Could have been better. Could have been more recent uniforms, but some of them are good, and it's nice to have some of value back for some of these uniforms that you hadn't used otherwise in a while. So those are the new uniforms. Those are the new characters. You're probably still wondering about these purple icons here. What's going on? So they've changed. For Awakening characters, they've changed the look. Now when a character transcends their potential, so you can see here, Blue Dragon has not transcended. Her Awakening skill is level 6, but she has not done the final Transcendence, which requires gear 25. Okay, so her icon is still purple. It's a purple little Roman numeral 2, and then her background color is that silverish gray. But right next to her Sunbird, you can see he's got purple. He's got sort of a cosmic icon, which is the Awakening, and then, or transcended potential, I guess, and then his background is now purple. So this confirms that tier 3 characters and awakened characters are separate, they're exclusive, and they've also moved the awakening skill. If you go into the skill preview, if you watch the Facebook live stream, they've moved the awakening skill down to the exact same place that the tier 3 skill is. So that to me signifies sort of burying the hatchet. We are not going to be giving any tier 3 characters an awakening, and we are not going to be giving any awakening characters a tier 3. I think I'm fine with that. I think that's good to make that differentiation, and I like the fact that it looks different. Like I like the way it looks, purple and red. I think it actually looks really cool. There's no new resource for Inhuman Awakening. Don't worry. You know, you didn't have to panic at all along. It was fine. As far as new uniforms that we cannot access yet. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm supposed to show you guys these uniforms, but one of them is in the key art, so I think it's fine. Over here, we've got Iceman's new uniform. He gets a pretty creative uniform bonus. When he uses a freeze skill, or when the freeze effect of his skill is used, he gets a bonus increase to his attack and crit damage for 7 seconds. Not the greatest passive, but we'll see. Iceman does have very high base attack stat, so we'll see. And then he does get 3 skill changes, including summons. He does create summons now, and the summons act like rescues summons. When you do skills, they will do skills as well. They will do sort of a variation on your skill. So it's got a pretty cool interaction in game. It looks kind of funny. I'm not super impressed with this uniform. I don't think this uniform is going to transform the character into a murderer, not a murderer, but like I don't think it's gonna make him meta. But it's a nice little upgrade for Iceman fans. I think it's, you know, it's kind of whatever. And then for Kamala Khan, she is in the key art. She looks amazing with this new sort of magic Phoenix 5 inspired haircut. She goes back to her combat roots. So this is really nice. She was a speed type character here with the Karachi Khan, but now she goes back to the combat roots, which I love because I love combat types. And she gets 15% all attack, 30% HP, 50% all defense. Yeah. Super armor. Yeah. She gets 5 skill changes, okay, which is huge, including buff, increased recovery rate, guard hit. She gets all defense down minus 50%. She gets immunity, and she gets another self buff with all defense down. So she is going to go berserk, on top of the fact that her new accelerated healing passive, let me remind you what the old passive is. Below 30%, she gets 30% heal with a 7-second cooldown. Now, so much better. Check this out. When she is below 50%, she gets a 30% heal, and it cleanses her of all debuffs for 4 seconds. So it's really strong. Really strong. And it's just, the cooldown was lowered from 7 seconds to 6 seconds. So in PvP, if you're fighting someone who doesn't have natural penetration, if they only have penetration on one of their skills, and they drop you below 50%, or they drop you to 50% and you have an invincibility obelisk, your invincibility obelisk pops, you cleanse debuffs if you were frozen or whatever, stunned or snared, and then you heal 30%. But remember, that one skill she has bumps up her recovery by 50%. So you could easily heal for the 50% that you just lost. So you could basically bounce from 100 down to 50, back up to 100, and you have debuff removal for 4 seconds, so they can't touch you in terms of debuffs. And then 2 seconds after that, it can proc again. Yeah. So she's going to be a headache for PvP. I think she's going to be really good for Conquest. I think it's an awesome passive. It's a really humongous buff for her, and she definitely, desperately deserved it. So the thing that I really like about this update, I gotta say, we're getting 3 massive rework uniforms for 3 very weak characters. Black Bolt, Medusa, and Kamala Khan. 3 Inhumans are jumping. They may not all make it to the meta, like to the top of the meta, but they're definitely going to be in the conversation. They're definitely going to be in the conversation. Not sure where Thane, Dazzler, and Iceman are going to end up, but it sort of is what it is. Next thing I want to talk about is the awakening for the potential, because there's still a lot of questions that people have about it. I will refer you to my previous video about that, because I do go into depth explaining it, and it's like a 20-minute video. But the one small thing that I wanted to add was, before, you don't have to do it before the update, but before the next update, not this one, but the next one that's going to happen sometime in September. So we're jumping ahead more than a month. So more than a month from now, before that time, before that next update, whatever it is, whether it's Inhumans Part 2 or whatever it is, before that update, you want to awaken as many of the original 10 characters as possible. So you only have to awaken them. You don't have to upgrade their... Actually, you know what? You don't even have to awaken them. My bad. You don't even have to awaken them. You only have to get them to level 70. So it's even cheaper. So if you are behind on playing Squad Battle, you should start playing Squad Battle now. But if you don't have Mandalay Gem Fragments, or you don't have Awakening Crystals, or you don't have CCF, that's okay. Just get these characters to level 70. Which characters am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the 4 Warriors of the Sky, Red Skull and Dr. Octopus, Mystique, Red Guardian, Amadeus Cho, and Beta Ray Bill. Get all of those 10 characters. Get them to level 70. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just get them to tier 2 and get them to level 70. Of course, only if you want them. I'm not saying if you're, you know, a free-to-play player and you don't have Sunbird that you should go out and buy Sunbird just to get them to level 70. That's not what I mean. But I mean, if you can get them to level 70 and you want to, you should, because I've confirmed on the APK that you can use the tokens that they talked about, and I'll show you right now. Here, I'll show you where they are in the shop to some more explain this more visually. So you go into materials down here at the bottom, right above my head. You go to materials and you scroll to the right, and you can see their gear upgrade support token, and you can buy these in packs, you know, 150 or 100. This is only going to be available for 1 month from the drop of the Inhumans update until the next update. So it's a limited window. It doesn't work on every character. It only works on those 10 characters that I just mentioned. And so I'm gonna buy a whack of them here. It's 100 gold for 100 of them. You can buy as many as you want, I guess, but stockpiling them doesn't really make sense because they will disappear after the end of the update, the next update. And so you go back here, and I'm gonna show you for Red Skull. I have not awakened him. He is unawakened, but he is level 70. So now check it out. I can go into his gears, ta-da, and I can upgrade them. So this is how the upgrade process works. They basically just replaced whatever materials you were going to use with this token. However, it's going to take as many rolls as it would have taken. So it takes 3 rolls, which costs you 3 gold and 3 of those tokens. And then you do it again here, so it's going to cost me 11 gold and 11 tokens. So technically it costs you twice as many tokens, because you pay 1 gold for the token and you pay 1 gold for each upgrade that it rolls on the gear. But we're talking like that was 50 gold, right? So every gear is going to cost you probably about 200 gold to upgrade. Did you hear what I just said? For these 10 characters, Red Skull, Dr. Octopus, Mystique, Beta Ray Bill, even Beta Ray Bill, it's going to cost you less than 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold to get all of their gears from 20 to 25. That's a massive upgrade for basically, it's essentially free. So that's why I'm saying, if you can get these characters, just get them to level 70, you don't even have to awaken them. You should do it, because then you'll get a free upgrade of all their gears to 25. And this is a one-time thing, i.e. this is not going to come back in 3 months or 6 months. They're not going to do this again. This is an apology because they've reworked the Transcendence and Awakening systems. This is not something that's going to come back, so you should take full advantage of it now. And the way you should do that is to just get the characters to level 70. Sure, it's a massive biometric burden. If you don't have any of these characters past level 60, you're looking at 2,403 bios times 10. So I just told you to spend 24,000 bios if you want to do all 10. But if you want to do all 10, that is the sort of prize that you're getting. You're getting the free upgrade of all of their gears. If you can only do 1 or 2 characters, my advice would be Beta Ray Bill first, because his gears are more expensive than other characters' gears because he's a native tier 2 character. And then secondly, I would say someone like Mystique, who's very, very strong as an awakened character. So, yeah. The next thing I want to talk about really quickly here, there is still lots to talk about, but the next thing I want to talk about is the story mode. This is probably the last thing I'm going to talk about in today's video. The story mode has been reworked, okay? And there are quite a few reworks. Most of them have to do with the alternate mode and the alternate ultimate mode. So I'm not really talking about the regular campaign mode, although they did add rewards. They added one-time rewards to the... when they added the all-war alternate mode, they did add one-time rewards. I already played them, but they added tier 3 materials to the all-war alternate mode, ultimate mode, ultimate difficulty. But basically what they added as well is they added biometrics. So now on each one of these stages, you're going to get biometrics. So these are biometrics for, it's not letting me show, but this is biometrics for Green Goblin here. We've got biometrics for Sharon Carter, Dr. Octopus, and you get a decent number of bios. I believe I got about 15 bios on average per run. So this will be a very, very, very good place to farm bios. Now remember, in the ultimate difficulty, you can only bring in tier 3 and awakened characters, but this will be a much better source of farming. Now, in addition to being a much better source of farming, the All War also has an alternate ultimate difficulty mode where you can get bios for Captain Marvel, Sif, Ulick, and Hela. Again, really good place to farm bios. On top of that, you've noticed there is the new story mode fragments. So I'm going to talk about what these story mode fragments are. I'm going to show you the regular story mode because everyone will be able to access this no matter what. There is no requisite to having this unlocked. So basically, each of the missions will drop a certain fragment. So you'll see, okay, it's kind of a complicated screen, but basically, every day you have a chance, for every single mission, you have a chance to collect either a story fragment or one, I know it's just one, but it is still one level 4 uniform XP chip. So you can farm, there are whatever, 12, I don't know how many missions there are here, but you can farm up, here, we can check here. So you can see I have a daily reward for most of them still intact. I played one of the missions, so I don't have the daily reward for Dimension Shift, but 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 17, 20. So you can farm, if you play through the entire story in one day, I know it's a lot, but you can farm 20 uniform XP chips per day. Or you can farm up the story fragments. Now, why do you want to farm up these story fragments? So the story fragments, there's 9 story fragments for this story. It's kind of confusing, but there's the Dimensional Clash story, and then there's the All War story over there. So for the Dimensional Clash story, there are 9 fragments that you want to farm up. And when you collect those 9 fragments, you can create a Dimensional Clash chest. And what's in the chest? Check it out. You have type enhancement tickets and mega type enhancement tickets. And you will get one of the items there. And that's it. This is an amazing reward. This is an amazing reward because it rewards players who farm. It rewards veterans who build and have a lot of tier 3s and a lot of awakened characters. and the rewards you get are very clear and very good. If you like PvP, if you like getting characters with a high growth score so you can get closer to rank 1, if you like just maxing out your characters and you don't want to grind type enhancement kits in Giant Boss Raid or in the story mode, you can do it here. You'll still get type enhancement kits, but you'll get tickets as well, and you can get mega tickets. Imagine you pull a mega 6-star ticket. That allows you to take any non-native tier 2. You can automatically take Thane, right? All the way to rank 6, to type 6. You can just go here, and boom, just all the way to 6. So that's nuts, right? Yeah. So this is a pretty amazing reward change, and I really want to stress how amazing this is and how impressed I am that Marvel Future Fight came up with this. This is great. So the way that it works, you'll see when you look at the fragments, you can click each fragment to find out which missions will drop it. So you can actually farm multiple fragments per day. And if you don't end up getting enough fragments, they will always stay in your inventory. They don't expire. So you can save them for another day. So if I go over here down to material, you can see at the bottom here, I have fragments from other stories. And you can see there's a 1 there. So presumably I can stack it. So the only sort of downside here is that it does take up inventory space. It will take up a maximum of 13 spots in your inventory, so that might be frustrating for some players, but it's pretty I think this is amazing. I love this. They need to do more of this. This is just like super applause. I cannot express how impressed I am. Now, the way that it works, in order to get the fragment, to increase your chances of getting the fragment, you can see there you have a 5, 10, or 25% increased chance to get a fragment for every surviving character. So if you have all 3 characters survive, then you get a 25% chance automatically to get a fragment. On top of that 25% chance, you will also get another 25% chance for each of the 3 bonus characters. And these bonus characters will rotate every 30 days, so they don't stay the same forever. Look there at the bottom underneath Sunbird, it says characters change in 23 days, 8 hours. Yeah, so the characters will rotate. How sick is that? It's amazing. So let's go over to a mission where I have the characters needed. So here, for example, I need a team of Medusa, Quicksilver, and Amadeus Cho. So if I put all 3 of those characters on a team together, you'll see here, if I go, like, let's say I go over here and and when you go over to the team menu, you'll see that it tells you the characters that you need. So look, Medusa has a little green arrow thing. So we're going to drag Medusa, we're going to drag Quicksilver, and we're going to drag Cho. Now we have them tier 3 and awakened, so we're lucky, we're done. So we go back, and now they're all highlighted. We have a 75% increased chance. So we have a base 75% chance to get a story fragment, even if I play through the mission and Medusa and Quicksilver die. Even if they die and I just have Cho left, I still have an 80% chance, because I got the 5% from the surviving bonus, and I've got the 75% chance from the character bonus. But if all 3 characters survive, I have a 100% chance to get a fragment. There's no RNG. There's no BS. This is beautiful. This is exactly what we've been asking for in Marvel Future Fight for months now. Give us a game mode where we can control the amount of RNG. If we build up the characters and we put in the investment, then we will lower the RNG odds to basically 0. So you have a 100% chance, up to 100% chance, with a minimum chance of 25% as long as you play well. So you can bring in any 3 tier 3 characters, right? You're saying, Cynicalex, I don't have any of these characters. You can bring in your Sharon Rogers and whoever else you have, even if they're not recommended, and you'll still have a 25% chance to get a fragment once a day by playing this stage. So it's fantastic. It's really good. On top of the way that you get fragments not being RNG, the rewards that you get are not RNG either. So there's no RNG here. There's no chance to fail when you combine. There's no BS. So this is fantastic. I love this. Now, on top of that, the All War also got an ultimate mode where you can play with any tier 3 or awakened characters that you have. And just like that other Dimensional Shift story mission, you also have the characters that you can use. Now, for example, we're going to go over here, and it's Quicksilver, Apocalypse, and Black Widow. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up the team really quickly here. We got Quicksilver, Apocalypse, and Black Widow. But here's the thing. They made this All War more difficult. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look over here at the stage bonuses and you read them carefully, you've got Freezing Sphere, which is those little circles from the X-Men, the mutant world bosses. You've got a chance to remove your active buffs if you get hit. And then in the middle here, this is important, the enemy are immune, 100% immune to non-elemental damage. And it doesn't matter if you have penetration, it doesn't matter. So in this fight, on this stage, Quicksilver will do 0 damage. So I'm just bringing Quicksilver to get the bonus for the fragment. Quicksilver will do 0 damage. I repeat, 0, nothing. Black Widow will do a little bit of damage because there's a little bit of lightning on her skills, but it's like basically nothing. So if I want to get the maximum reward, I have to use Apocalypse. I have to, because he deals elemental damage. Enemies also have their cold resist going up, so if this rotates and it's Luna, she can do it, but it's really hard. She actually doesn't do much damage. So if you take a look at the requirements here, you have to use elemental skills on every single stage. So I suggest if you want these rewards, you should start thinking about your next tier 3 being an elemental tier 3. The best elemental tier 3 at the moment for this is probably Scarlet Witch, because she's not, oh, she's a 1600 cost. I was going to say she's not a fully double cost, but she is. Cyclops is another good option because he deals fire damage. Now, if you see here, the enemy has cold resist up here. In the second phase, they have cold. In the second mission, they have cold resist again. In the third, they have fire resist. And in the last one, they have cold and fire. So Cyclops actually struggles a little bit in the third and fourth missions, but he can still do it. I did it with Cyclops. It takes a long time. But someone like Scarlet Witch or Apocalypse would be better because, or even Thor, because their damage is never, mind damage and lightning damage is never reduced. But cold and fire will be reduced, and there are no tier 3s that deal poison damage. It's just, poison damage is just disrespected in Marvel Future Fight. So yeah, think about having a mind damage tier 3 or a lightning damage tier 3 up next if you want to farm this. Now, why would you want to farm this one? Is it more type enhancement tickets when you get the fragments? Take a look. So for this one, it's the same rules as before. When you combine the fragments, you will need to combine 4 fragments. Now, I failed to get a fragment on the very last stage because I didn't have, I don't have Thor tier 3 on this account, on this APK account, and I don't have Silver Surfer tier 3, so I only had Spider-Man tier 3, and so I went in with Spider-Man tier 3, and I basically had a 50% chance. I had Spider-Man plus the 25% for all surviving members, and I lost. Well, I mean, I beat the mission, but I didn't get the fragment. It was a 50-50. So I'm 3 out of 4. I'll show you guys tomorrow because tomorrow I'll get it. But check out what this chest has. Only 6-star Uru and Odin's Blessings. Now, this is really good. Again, really, really good chest. Very few rewards, targeted rewards, veteran rewards, right? Veterans don't need 3, 4, even 5-star Uru. So this is very good for veterans. The only small criticism I have is it's the true Netmarble fashion. They took out the Strike and Magic Odin's Blessings, which are double physical attack, double energy attack. So yeah, it could have been beyond perfect, but at least it is basically perfect at this point. So yeah, I gotta say these rewards and this story structure are amazing. This is, in my opinion, the first update for veterans that I've ever seen, where the reward schemes and the setup is rewarding veteran players. And I feel so good about it. I think it's amazing. I think it's fantastic. Am I going to play the story mode every day for fragments? Probably not. I don't necessarily have enough time to. But the fact that it's always there for me, and the fact that players are rewarded for progressing through their roster and ranking up these characters, you have a reason to tier 3 more characters now. You have a reason to awaken more characters. Not just to gather dust on your roster, but to actually turn into a chance to get very good rewards on a daily basis. Every single day, you can try to get these rewards. And on any given day, you can play it once. And on any given day, I can farm up 9 fragments and open this chest on any given day that I want if I have enough time to play. So I love that. I really got to say, I love that. Thank you, Marvel Future Fight. I think I am going to spend a little bit of money this update just to applaud how good these changes are to the story mode. Now we just need these kinds of non-RNG rewards in other game modes, in Timeline Battle, in Giant Boss Raid, in Alliance Conquest, etc. Speaking of Giant Boss Raid, I think Giant Boss Raid, this is my last thing here, this piece of speculation. I think Giant Boss Raid is due for a new boss and a complete overhaul. A complete, that's a My Hero Academia reference. A complete overhaul of the rewards. Because you look at the story mode that I just showed you and you're like, wow, those type enhancement kit tickets are so juicy. So why do I need to play Giant Boss Raid anymore? You don't need to play Giant Boss Raid anymore. That's right.
So I really think that Giant Boss Fight is going to see a massive overhaul, and it should. It really, really should. And they should put tier 3 materials in here. You should be able to get tier 3 materials and Titan records in this game mode because it's hard enough. At least Galactus is. Maybe not Master Mold. Maybe Master Mold will drop tier 2 materials or biometrics or whatever. But I think Galactus and whoever the third boss is that they introduce, who presumably will be harder than Galactus, they definitely need to drop tier 3 materials because that's how the progression systems should work. So, with that being said, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of this new update. I am over the moon for most of the rewards, and we'll have to wait and see about Thane and Dazzler acquisition method. Hit me up in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.